from Fort Worth, Texas. And here I'll be interviewing my dad. He's a commercial pilot.
Hi, I'm Andrew, also from Fort Worth, Texas, and Parker's dad. Well, what questions do you have for me today, bud?
Well, number one, tell me what you do at your job every day.
Well, I fly an airliner to cities all around the country.
Okay. Number two, how do you get to help others in our community?
Well, basically by getting people where they want to go or need to go. I get to take people to see their families, their friends. I get to take them on vacation, or in some cases for their to do their jobs so they can make a living for their families.
Okay. Number three, when do you get to use science, technology, engineering, or math in your job?
A lot. You use that a lot in the aviation career. The biggest one for us is weather, and there's your science right there. Weather is a big part of this job. Understanding weather is a big part of this job. We have to calculate how much fuel we need on the airplanes. We have to calculate our weight and balance. Depending on how heavy we are, we have to calculate, the runway length, how much runway we need to, for the airplane to take off and for the airplane to land. And we've got to understand the systems of the airplane as well, in case we were to have anything, break on the airplane.
Like an engine failure.
Yeah, we have to know how to deal with it so we get people safely to where they're going, despite what issues may come up.
Okay. Number four, what's the coolest thing you get to do in your job?
Well, obviously, flying the airplane, the views we get to see as we're flying the airplane is really great. Those are two of my favorite things. Another one of my favorite things, and I didn't know this before I got into flying, was I like that I get to spend a little time in all kind of different cities. It's really cool.
5, how did you decide you wanted to do this job when you grew up?
Well, for me, it was in my family, which for a lot of pilots, it's in their family. And I fly with a lot of pilots who they are first generation pilots. There was no one in their family that was a pilot before them. So if you have pilots in your family, that's wonderful. If not, you can still very much do this job. So for me, it was really in my family, and I was raised around an airport atmosphere.
Okay. Number 6, what do you wish you knew about this as a kid?
I remember as a kid, I was pretty intimidated by the job. I would look in the airplanes, and I would see all the buttons and switches and knobs, and yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a ton of them. And I wish I would have been a little less nervous about learning it, because when you start taking your flying lessons, you start out with the basics, and you build on that little by little, you learn little by little, and before you know it, you're flying an airliner around the country. So have confidence that you can do it, even if it looks scary at first.
7, what should I do now if I want to do this job when I grow up?
Well, taking your school serious is very important. That will set you up. And if there's an airport, especially a small airport near where you live, go out there and watch some airplanes. People around the airport are really nice, and a lot of times they'll chat with you about aviation and airplanes, and you can ask them all kinds of questions.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah. Is there anything else? Any other questions you got for me, bud?
Not really.
All right. Well, thank y'all.
Yeah. Thanks, Dad. Thanks, everybody. And thanks, American Heart Association. We're out.